if I got to Butte, Montana, I had a sister living there, she would hide me. And when I made it to Butte, my sister says, I'm really glad to see you. We thought you were dead. But we have to go home. Pop is real sick and they don't expect me to make it. And that was a real scary moment for me. Because I knew I had to go back and face the kids that I left. And I did the only thing that an alcoholic will do to their family. I got just stupid drunk before I went back and seen my kids and my dad. My dad was in the hospital, so I wouldn't go up and see him. But I don't even remember what it was like when I first seen my kids coming back. But anyway, we were there for 3 or 4 days, and my sister said, well, Pop's getting better, I have to go back, you gonna come with me? And I said, yeah, because I can't live around here. My oldest daughter heard my sister and I talking, and she come up and grabbed my hand. And she said, Dad, I'm going with you. You ain't gonna leave me no more. So I took her and my youngest boy, who was just bouncing around from room to home. With my brothers and sister, nobody really wanted him or loved him. But they took him because they pitied him, because of his dad being a drunk on Skid Row. And looking back, you know, I grew up, when I was drinking, I grew up with a lot of hatred. I hated white people. I hated Indians. But after I got sober, I realized that the communities I was growing up in, I was too white to be Indian, or too Indian to be white. And I was never accepted in either world. But when I found that little brown bottle, it let me fit in any world I wanted to be in. So I always tell people I drink alcohol for fits. But that's the way my life was for a great number of years. Till I was finally forced into jail again and didn't know why I was in there and wanted to get out. I talked my wife into putting me in a treatment program where they put alcoholics. I didn't know anything about it. And it was the same asylum. But I went in there and that was a great experience. Because when you first go in, they put you in a receiving board. There's alcoholics on one side, drug addicts on the other side. You gotta hang together, you find your niche there. The crazy guys, they were right in the middle. They were happy as hell. They didn't give a damn. So I thought, well, maybe I shouldn't be crazy. But you know, it's great when I can look back on that part of my life and laugh about it now, because at that time it wasn't a laughing matter, because it was a life or death situation with me. And then after getting out and staying sober and working on the things that I needed to work on, and forgiveness was one of the things that was very hard for me to do. All the hatred I had. I worked real hard on trying to get my kids to forgive me for what I had done to them. And I felt like some of them did, some of them didn't. But in that process, I found out the most forgiveness that I had to do was to forgive myself. And that was very hard to do. I found out there was a process that I was going through that I didn't understand. In my head, I thought I'd forgive myself years ago. But I found out in my heart I didn't. I was still running, I was still hiding. And until I did some more work on myself after I sobered up and was able to get my head and my heart in tune, then life became a lot better for me, and forgiveness had a lot more meaning to me. And today I live in a world of pretty much happiness. I enjoy being with my friend here, Horst. Him and I make a lot of conferences together, and we share a lot of good times. We've gotten so now, we're trying to find out who can lie the most and talk the fastest. But I did hear a story about Horst one time when he was drinking. He was going up the street when the Catholic nuns were dressed in habits and they all looked alike. And there was two nuns coming down the street as he was going up, and when they got by him, they separated and went around him. And he was shaking his head and he said, I wonder how she did that.